The quiet signal most seniors ignore after 60. If you are over 60, there is a quiet moment most people never talk about. It often happens at night. You are sitting on the edge of the bed or standing up from the couch, and for a few seconds your feet do not feel quite right. There is nerve tingling, a soft buzzing, pins and needles that come and go, sometimes numb, sometimes warm, sometimes almost electric. You pause, not because it hurts, but because it makes you think. You tell yourself, this must be normal. Just part of getting older. You do not mention the nerve tingling to your spouse. You do not bring it up at your next appointment, and you certainly do not want to worry your children, so you stay quiet. But inside, there is a question that keeps returning, especially when the house is still. What if this nerve tingling after 60 is trying to tell me something? As a doctor who has spent decades listening to seniors, men and women in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, I want you to hear this clearly. This is not just aging, and you are not broken. For many people, nerve tingling and numbness are not signs of damage. They are early signals. Subtle messages from the nervous system whispered long before pain ever appears. And most seniors miss this signal. They assume tingling in the feet at night is something they simply have to live with. Something that slowly chips away at balance, confidence, and independence, one quiet step at a time. But what if this has less to do with decline and more to do with support? In this video, I want to share 7 simple foods that may help calm nerve tingling after 60. Not cures, not promises. Just practical support, grounded in science and real life, and commonly used in a healthy neuropathy diet for seniors. If this sounds familiar, type 1 in the comments. If it does not, type 0. And stay with me, because what comes next is something most people never expect. Number 7, the first signal most people brush off. There is a misunderstanding I hear almost every single week. It's just circulation, people say. My feet tingle sometimes. That happens to everyone. And on the surface, it sounds harmless. You can still walk. You can still drive. You are not in pain. So you brush it off. But nerve tingling rarely arrives as a problem you can point to. It shows up in quiet moments. When you stand up from a chair, your feet hesitate. When you step onto a cold floor and feel tingling in your feet. When you lie down at night and notice nerve tingling, after 60 feels a little stronger than it used to. It does not stop your day, but it changes how you move through it. You start holding the railing just a second longer. You pause before stepping off a curb. You hesitate in the dark, even in your own home. That hesitation matters. I once worked with a woman named Joan. She was 68, active, independent, and proud of it. She told me, I don't have pain. I just don't trust my feet the way I used to. That loss of trust is often one of the earliest neuropathy symptoms seniors experience. Think of your nerves like electrical wiring in an older house. The lights still turn on, but the insulation around the wires has thinned. Signals leak, messages misfire. Not enough to cause failure, but enough to create interference. That interference is nerve tangling. For many seniors, nerve tingling after 60 is not caused by circulation alone. It is often linked to quiet inflammation and a lack of nutritional support that protects nerve insulation. This is why certain foods, especially those rich in healthy fats, are often part of a supportive neuropathy diet. Omega-3 fats, found in foods like fatty fish, may help calm inflammation and support smoother nerve signaling. This does not replace medical care, and it does not promise instant relief, but it may help support your nervous system before the signal grows louder. Quick question before we move on. Have you ever felt less confident stepping down off a curb or walking in the dark because of tingling in your feet? If yes, type YES in the comments. And stay with me, because the next food on our list surprises almost everyone. It is sweet, and most seniors think they should avoid it. Number 6, when healthy foods quietly make it worse. This is where many seniors feel genuinely confused. They say, I eat healthy, I always have fruit, and they are telling the truth. A banana in the morning, a glass of juice in the afternoon, something sweet in the evening because it feels light and harmless. So when nerve tingling shows up, frustration follows. I'm doing everything right. Why is this still happening? I once worked with a man named Frank. He was 72. Calm, careful, and consistent. Every night before bed, he drank a large glass of orange juice. He believed it was good for his heart, but the nerve tingling in his feet was always worse at night. As soon as he lay down, the buzzing started. Tingling in the feet, a strange warmth, sometimes numbness. Nerve tingling at night that made it harder to relax, harder to sleep, and quietly raised a question he did not want to ask. What if this keeps getting worse? Here is what Frank did not realize, and what many seniors are never told. After 60, the nervous system becomes more sensitive to blood sugar swings, even from foods we think of as healthy. When blood sugar rises too quickly, it creates interference in nerve signaling. Think of it like static on a radio. The signal still moves, but it is no longer clear. That static often feels like nerve tingling. This is one reason nerve tingling after 60 often shows up at night. The body is resting, the nervous system is more noticeable, and sugar spikes can irritate already sensitive nerve endings in the feet. This does not mean fruit is bad, and it does not mean you did anything wrong. In a supportive neuropathy diet, the goal is stability, not sweetness. Fruits like berries and citrus tend to raise blood sugar more gently and bring antioxidants that help calm inflammation. Large amounts of juice or very ripe fruit can do the opposite, especially in seniors already experiencing neuropathy symptoms. For people noticing nerve tingling in the feet, small changes in timing and food pairing can make a difference. Eating whole fruit instead of juice, pairing fruit with protein or healthy fat, supporting steadier nerve signals instead of triggering static. This is not about restriction. It is about giving your nervous system what it can handle. Quick check-in before we continue. Have you noticed that nerve tingling at night gets worse after something sweet? If yes, type night in the comments. And stay with me, because the next food is something almost everyone eats, yet very few people use it in a way that truly supports nerve health. Number 5, the quiet nervous system helper most seniors overlook. Many seniors assume this: if I eat vegetables, that should cover it. So they buy salad mixes. They add greens to dinner. They tell themselves they are doing the right thing, yet nerve tingling remains. Sometimes subtle during the day, sometimes stronger in the evening, sometimes showing up as tingling in the feet when standing still or trying to relax. I once worked with a woman named Margaret. She was 65, organized, thoughtful, and careful with her health. She told me, I eat greens every day, but my legs still feel restless, and the nerve tingling in my feet never fully goes away. What Margaret did not realize is that not all vegetables support the nervous system in the same way. Think of your nerves like a sound system. When everything is balanced, the music is smooth. But when the system is overstimulated, the volume spikes. Background noise creeps in. Everything feels tense instead of calm. For many seniors, nerve tingling after 60 is not caused by damage alone. It is often driven by overactivity. The nervous system stays slightly alert, even when the body wants to rest. This is why nerve tingling at night can feel more noticeable, especially in the feet. This is where magnesium quietly matters. Magnesium helps calm nerve firing. It acts like a brake pedal for the nervous system. When magnesium is low, nerves can become jumpy. Signals fire too easily. Tingling in the feet and restless sensations become harder to ignore. After 60, magnesium deficiency becomes more common. Digestion changes. Certain medications interfere with absorption. And many diets simply do not provide enough of it, even when vegetables are present. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and chard contain magnesium, but preparation matters. Raw salads can be harder to digest for older adults. Lightly cooked greens are often absorbed more easily and provide steadier support for nerve signaling. This is why some seniors notice nerve tingling eases slightly when they switch from cold salads to warm vegetables. The nervous system feels less strained. Muscles relax. Signals quiet down. This does not replace medical care, and it does not promise instant change. But in a supportive neuropathy diet, these small adjustments may help the nervous system feel calmer instead of constantly on edge. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever noticed that nerve tingling at night feels worse when you are tense, overtired, or trying to fall asleep? If that sounds familiar, type calm in the comments. And stay with me, because the next part goes deeper. Nighttime fear, sleep, and the quiet moments when nerve tingling becomes impossible to ignore. Number 4, the nighttime fear most seniors never say out loud. There is a moment many seniors recognize but almost never say out loud. It happens at night. The house is quiet. The lights are low. You wake up and need to get out of bed, maybe to use the bathroom, maybe because sleep will not come. And before your feet touch the floor, there is a pause. Not pain, fear. You wonder, will my feet feel the floor? You wonder, will they hold me steady? For many people over 60, nerve tingling becomes louder at night. Nerve tingling in the feet, a numb, buzzing sensation. Sometimes warmth. Sometimes there is a strange lack of feedback that makes the dark feel less safe. This kind of nerve tingling at night is one of the most common neuropathy symptoms seniors experience. Yet very few talk about it openly. I once worked with a man named Luis. He was 70 years old, independent, and deeply proud of it. During the day, he managed well. But at night, nerve tingling in his feet made him hesitate before standing. He told me, "I don't want to fall, and I don't want my kids worrying about me." So he stayed quiet. He began sitting on the edge of the bed longer. He turned on extra lights. He avoided getting up unless he had to. Small changes that slowly chipped away at confidence and independence. Here is what many seniors do not realize. Nerve tingling after 60 often feels worse at night because the nervous system finally has nothing else to distract it. No movement, no noise, no daytime momentum. Numb feet at night and nerve tingling become impossible to ignore. Sleep plays a role too. Deep sleep is when nerves repair and reset. But nerve tingling at night disrupts that process. Poor sleep then makes nerve tingling even more noticeable the following night. It becomes a quiet cycle. This is where nutrition and timing begin to matter. Certain foods that support nerve insulation and calm nighttime inflammation may help the nervous system settle before bed. Healthy fats, for example, support smoother nerve signaling and are often missing from the evening routine. In a balanced neuropathy diet, what you eat in the hours before sleep can influence how loudly nerve tingling speaks at night. This is not about quick fixes, and it does not replace medical care. It is about supporting your body during its most vulnerable hours. Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever hesitated to get out of bed at night because of nerve tingling in your feet, numb feet at night, or fear of losing balance in the dark? If that sounds familiar, type night in the comments. Stay with me because the next section reveals a nutrient many seniors are low in, even when they believe their diet is already good. Number 3, the deficiency many seniors have, even when they eat well. This is the part that surprises many seniors the most. They say, "I eat well, I get protein, I drink milk, I should be fine." And on paper, that sounds true. But nerve tingling does not always come from what you eat. Sometimes it comes from what your body can no longer absorb the same way after 60. I once worked with a woman named Ellen. She was 67, independent, still driving herself everywhere. One evening, she told me, "When I'm driving at night, my fingers tingle on the steering wheel. Sometimes my feet feel delayed, like there's a half second before they respond." That scared her. Not because of pain, but it made her question her confidence. What Ellen was experiencing is one of the most overlooked neuropathy symptoms seniors face. A gradual shortage of a nutrient essential for nerve health. Vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 plays a key role in maintaining the protective coating around nerves. Think of it like insulation around an electrical wire. When that insulation thins, nerve signals still move, but they are slower and less precise. That often shows up as nerve tingling, numb hands and feet, or a delayed sense of balance. After 60, vitamin B12 deficiency becomes far more common. Stomach acid naturally declines. Certain medications interfere with absorption. Even seniors who eat animal foods can slowly become low without realizing it. This is why nerve tingling after 60 can appear in people who feel they are doing everything right. And this type of nerve tingling often feels different. It is subtle. Fingers that feel unsure, feet that feel less connected, nerve tingling that quietly chips away at confidence, especially during activities like driving, walking downstairs, or standing in the dark. In a supportive neuropathy diet, vitamin B12-rich foods matter: eggs, fish, dairy, and for some people, fortified foods or supplements under medical guidance. Not to cure anything, but to support clearer nerve communication. This is not about guessing, and it is not about self-diagnosing. It is about understanding that aging changes how the body handles nutrients, and nerve tingling can be one of the earliest signs that support needs to be adjusted. Let me ask you something, honestly. Have you ever felt nerve tingling in your hands or feet that made you hesitate doing something you once did automatically, like driving at night, buttoning a shirt, or stepping off a curb? If that sounds familiar, tell me what it was in the comments. Stay with me because the next section brings everything together. One simple factor that helps all of these supports actually work. Number 2, the simple factor that makes every other support work. There is one factor almost everyone overlooks, not a supplement, not a new food, not another rule to remember. Yet without it, even the best neuropathy diet struggles to help: hydration. Most seniors tell me the same thing: I drink water, I'm fine. But when we slow down and look at the full day, a different picture appears. A few sips in the morning, coffee through the afternoon, less drinking later because no one wants to be up all night. And quietly, the nervous system feels the strain. I remember a man named Joe. He was 74, active, and proud of handling things on his own. He noticed nerve tingling in the feet was always worse late in the day. By evening, nerve tingling at night made his feet feel heavy and less responsive. When we talked through his routine, it became clear. He was mildly dehydrated most days without realizing it. Think of nerve signals like messages moving through a river. When water flows freely, signals travel smoothly. But when levels drop, everything slows down. Messages bump into obstacles. Friction increases. That friction often feels like nerve tingling. After 60, the body's thirst signal becomes less reliable. You may not feel thirsty even when your cells need fluid. Blood becomes slightly thicker. Circulation slows. Nerves become more sensitive. This is one reason nerve tingling after 60 often worsens later in the day. It is also why numb feet at night and tingling in the feet become more noticeable when the body finally rests. Hydration does not cure neuropathy, but it supports everything else. In a supportive neuropathy diet, fluids help deliver nutrients to nerves. They help reduce irritation. They help stabilize nerve signaling so sensations feel quieter instead of sharp or buzzy. Water matters, and timing matters. Sipping steadily earlier in the day supports the nervous system without forcing nighttime bathroom trips. Drinking fluids with meals helps nutrients absorb more smoothly. Gentle, calming drinks in the evening can help the body settle without overstimulation. For some seniors, simply improving hydration habits makes nerve tingling feel calmer, not gone, but less distracting, easier to live with. This does not replace medical advice, and it is not about forcing yourself to drink more than feels comfortable. It is about recognizing that nerve tingling often reflects how supported your system feels overall. Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever noticed nerve tingling in your feet or numb feet at night that feel worse on days when you realize you barely drank any water? If that sounds familiar, type water in the comments. And stay with me because in the final part, I want to bring all of this together. Not with promises, but with something many seniors value even more. Hope that feels realistic. Number 1, what this signal is really asking you to do. After all these years of working with seniors, there is one message I want you to hear clearly. Your body is not failing you. It is communicating with you. Nerve tingling is not a punishment, and it is not your body giving up. Very often, nerve tingling after 60 is a quiet request for support, not force. For many seniors, nerve tingling shows up long before anything serious does. It appears as tingling in the feet, numb feet at night, or a subtle loss of confidence when moving in the dark. And because nerve tingling does not scream, most people learn to dismiss it. But ignoring nerve tingling does not make it disappear. Listening to it changes everything. What we have talked about in this video is not about cures or quick fixes. It is about support. Supporting nerve health through food, hydration, and timing. Supporting your nervous system so it does not have to work harder than it should. A balanced neuropathy diet is not about perfection. It is about consistency. Small, Steady choices that help nerves feel calmer and more stable over time. Healthy fats, steady blood sugar, nutrients that quiet overactive signals. Enough fluid so messages can move smoothly. These are not dramatic changes, they are gentle ones. And gentle matters after 60, because the real goal is not just reducing nerve tingling. The real goal is protecting the life you still want to live. Getting out of bed at night without fear, walking without hesitation, driving, traveling, cooking, and standing confidently without constantly wondering if your feet will cooperate. This is about dignity. I want to be very clear. None of this replaces medical care, and none of it means you should stop medications or treatments your doctor has recommended. Always talk with your healthcare provider before making changes. But I have seen, again and again, that when seniors start listening early, supporting their bodies instead of dismissing the signals, nerve tingling often becomes quieter. Not always gone, but less controlling, less frightening, easier to live with. Before we end, let me ask you one final question. What is one thing you have quietly stopped doing because of nerve tingling at night, or numb feet after 60 that you wish you could feel confident doing again? Share it in the comments. You are not alone, and your story may help another senior feel understood. If this conversation felt calm, honest, and helpful, consider subscribing. This channel exists to help seniors understand nerve tingling and neuropathy symptoms without fear, and to offer realistic hope grounded in science and real life. Thank you for spending this time with me. And remember, your body is still on your side.